الرحيم. So last week we did Surah Al-Balad. Inshallah, we're going to go ahead and start Surah Al-Fajr. One thing you're going to notice is that as the surahs get longer, the topics are not actually more. So it might take us no longer to go over Surah Al-Fajr than we did Surah Al-Balad, because the flow is the same number of topics, so to speak. Alhamdulillah. And I'm going to use this also today. So let me go ahead and scroll to the right place. When we use the Tajweed Mus'haf, it's not about the Tajweed. It's about the notes on the side. Alhamdulillah. Bismillah. So, Fajr. Fajr, I think everybody knows. Oops. Bismillah. The daybreak. It's the first light of day, and the word actually means burst. When the first light bursts out. And I have a few extra booklets if you need. وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. Layal is the plural of layl, nights. And Ashr is a number. How many? 10. So, first visit. ليالي العشر العشر الأولى من ذي الحجة. This is tafsir on the side. Now, this tafsir doesn't tell us that this is Ibn Abbas telling us this. Ibn Abbas told us this means the first 10 nights of Dhul Hijjah. The ayah doesn't say so. So this is an interpretation. Very valid, a very strong interpretation, because this is Ibn Abbas who lived with the Prophet ﷺ. But nonetheless, it's an interpretation. وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ. Literally, the even and the odd. And Allah is witr, يُحِبُّ الْوِتْر. Allah is odd, He's one, so He's not pair. And He loves odd. يَوْمَ النَّحْرِ وَيَوْمَ عَرَفَةِ. This is the same tafsir. Ibn Abbas tells us that الشَّفْع, the pair or the even number, is يَوْمَ النَّحْرِ. What's يَوْمَ النَّحْرِ? The day of Eid, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. And Yawm Arafah is the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. So this is interpretation of Ibn Abbas and others. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَسِّرْ. By the night when it يَسِّرْ. Yasir we have to watch out, because what's a word that seems to have the same letters as Yasir? No, not Asr. Yusra. What's Yusra? Ease. Or yeah, right. Ease. Inna ma'al usri yusra. But this is actually a present tense where the ya is extra. It's supposed to be yasri, like Jannat tajri. So this is actually yasri, where the ya is missing. It's called hadf. We had this in Surah Al-Kafirun. Lakum dinukum wali dini. But the e is not there. Li din. So this is called hadf. The ya is gone. And this is here. Yassir, meaning yadhab. Yamdi wa yadhab. Meaning, I think dhahab you have yadhab in Urdu, no? No? Yadhab is leave. So the night, when it leaves, meaning the last part of the night, when it's about to be yamdi, it's about to be mada, it's about to be gone, it's about to be over. That's the time that when it's Ramadan, everybody is looking at the clock, checking the adhan clock. Do we still have time? Do we trying to finish the cup of water or the coffee or whatever it is you have, or the dates, right? That's layl idha yasir. It's about to leave. It's slipping away. The night is almost gone. All right. So this is, we've seen a few surahs like this. By the sun, by the time, by the right morning, by the night. Allah swears by a few things at the beginning of the surah. There's going to be a few more, but this is one of the bigger ones, where Allah swears at the very beginning of the surah with a few things. And every other surah where Allah swears by something, right after that He says, what was that important thing? So for example, wal asr. Allah swears by time that what? إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Everybody's going to lose unless you're believers who try your best to do good. I swear by time that you're going to lose. Then you go to, for example, al-duha. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. I swear by the bright morning and by the night. مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ. Your Lord did not abandon you. I swear that your Lord did not abandon you. Shams, I swear that every soul was balanced, and whoever purifies his soul or grows his soul into a better person will be successful. Surah Al-Balad, I swear by this city and by lineage. Indeed, we created a human being in a life of hardship. I swear by the fig and the olive and this, we created the human being in the best form. So I swear by this, that, this. It's like one sentence. But here, it's not. Here, I swear by the bright morning, and the nights, and the even and the odd, and the end of the night when it slips away. There's no end of the sentence. I swear that, indeed what? We don't know. The next part, Allah asks a question. هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر? Hal makes it a question. In that, qasam is an oath. We had uqasimu in Surah Al-Balad, it's right there, so I'll scroll. La uqasimu, I swear. So oath is when you take an oath, I swear by something. In that, an oath, li dhi hijr. Dhi hijr is not like the word alladhi. No, it's right there. Dhi is another form of that, dhu, the, the. It means that has. Not the same as alladhi, which means the one who. Similar. Dhi hijr, someone who has common sense or intellect. Hijr. So Allah is asking, is there in that an oath for one who has common sense? Meaning, is this enough of an oath? Is this important enough? Is this serious enough? We still don't know what Allah means to say that's so important. By the time humans will be losing. That's the important statement. Humans are going to be losing. Wake up. Don't waste your time. You're going to be losing unless you believe and try your best to do good deeds. But here, I swear, I swear, I swear. Did I swear enough? And then Allah asks another question. Alam tara? Did you not see? So Allah still didn't tell us what is the object of the oath. I swear that what? Like what? Ya Allah, what do you want to tell us? I swear, I swear, I swear about what? Subhanallah. So the question goes, and the question goes all the way to فَصَبَّ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّكَ سَوْطَ عَذَابٍ. Allah talks about Ad over here, and Thamud over here, and Fir'aun over here, those who did this and this and this, so then Allah did this to them. So the sentence, pretty much, you can put brackets if you want, the sentence goes all the way from here to here. And still, in that sentence, look at what your master did with these people. It's still a question. Did you not see? So it's still not the object for which Allah swears. I swear, I swear, I swear. Well, you haven't told us. You haven't told us yet. So you could say, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَبِالْمِرْصَادِ is what Allah swears by. But that doesn't match. What do I mean by it doesn't match? Let's look at what matches. I swear by this city and by lineage that indeed every human being was created in the life of struggle. People perceive that lineage, people perceive that the place you were born or come from, the city, will determine your success in life, having a good life or not. And Allah says, no, 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 no. I swear by these things that everybody's created in the life of struggle. So there's a connection between the subject of the oath, what Allah swears by, there's a connection between that and what Allah swears for. Like what's the important statement? There's always a connection. Let's look at more connections. الشمس القمر النهار الليل السماء الأرض. These are things that work in pairs, not opposites necessarily, because the sun is not the opposite of the moon, but they work together in pairs. Okay, they balance each other out. The night and day balance each other out. The sky and the earth, they're kind of like opposites. They complementary things. They work together. The soul is made of fujur and taqwa. They work together. And you want to grow your taqwa and you don't want to grow your fujur. So what Allah swears by is connected to what Allah is telling us. Obviously, Surah Al-Asr is a very clear example. By time, you're going to be losing unless you believe in doing good deeds. You're going to run out of time. So the connection between what Allah swears by and what Allah swears for. There's always a connection. And so, yes, you could say, Allah swears by these 3, 4, 5 things, that indeed your Lord is bil-mirsad. We'll translate this in a minute. That's one possibility. But it doesn't match as good as the very end of the surah. The very end of the surah, and we're going to jump to that, because this is a famous part that is often recited and often mentioned. An-nafs al-mutma'innah. So this is the surah where Allah is not clear. I swear by this, that, ... After that, we don't know what Allah really, like, He doesn't say it clearly. What is the main point for which He swore by the daybreak and all of these things? We don't know clearly why He swears. This is the surah we don't know clearly, and this is the surah that ends, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'innah. Let's translate this first and then go back to the beginning of the surah. Ya ayyatuha. So this is Ya ayyuha in the feminine form. Ya ayyuha is a polite, dignified way to call out somebody, to call the attention of somebody. Nafs. Nafs is soul. Mutma'innah. It comes from itmi'nan, to be relaxed, to be at ease, to be in comfort. Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'innah. Oh, so Allah is calling to any soul that is relaxed, in ease and comfort. Irji'i ila rabbik. Go back to your Lord. So this is now Day of Judgment. Go back to your Lord. Radiya, mardiya. Radiya is the one that has rida. And mardiya is the person who is the object of rida. So if I have rida, I'm pleased and content, I'm happy with something. If I'm mardi, that means that others are happy with me. So go back to your Lord in a state of your own happiness with something, and you are also the object of Allah's happiness. Allah is happy with you. Go back to your Lord, you are happy and Allah is happy with you. فَدْخُلِي, enter, in, literally, in my slaves, which means in the presence of, among my slaves. And Allah make us enter Jannah with the best of His servants. Ameen. So you can imagine Abu Bakr and Umar, radiallahu anhu. You can imagine Isa, alayhi salam, and his mother Maryam, salamun alayha. You can imagine Asiya. You can imagine anybody you want. Enter among the best of my slaves. Allah doesn't say the best, but ibadi, my servants. It implies the best. Enter among the VIP. وَدْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. Enter my Jannah that I've prepared for you. Subhanallah. So now, if this is what Allah is swearing by, or swearing for, there is a strong connection. Because how can you be one of these people on the Day of Judgment? What can you do in this world that will help you reach that relaxed, comfortable, tranquility, peace, sakina on the Day of Judgment? Allah swears by the most important things. Fajr. Being awake and engaged in worship at Fajr time. Inna Qur'an al-Fajr kana mashhuda. Those who take advantage of the time of Fajr, praying Fajr in Jama'ah, reading some more Qur'an after Fajr, or before Fajr, being early in the masjid, all that time, this is a precious time that will what? That will help you achieve mutma'innah on the Day of Judgment. The second one, layalin ashr. Whether you go with the first 10 of the Hijjah or the last 10 of Ramadan, either one, we know very well that you take advantage of those nights, you will be successful. You get a lot of hasanat. It's not just about the hasanat. It's about the sakina that comes with the angels and all of that. So you will be among the ones who are mutma'inna on the day of judgment. Ash-shaf'i wal-watr. If you go with the interpretation of Ibn Abbas, this is Yawm al-Nahr and Yawm al-Arafah. This is very well known that these are very special days, especially Arafah. But even Nahr, the sacrifice of Yawm al-Nahr, is very important. It's a very important ibadah. And if you don't go with that interpretation, what is witr? Witr is the night prayer after Isha, which is actually recommended to do at the end of the night. So these forms of worship are the highlight that will get a person to reach that state of itmitnan, of being relaxed, comfortable, at ease on the day of judgment. And the last one is the night when it slips away. For a person to be every morning looking at the clock and worried that the night is about to leave. What does that mean? That they want to finish their suhoor so they can fast. Or that they want to pray witr at the last part of the night. Or that they're making dua because that's the part of the night that Allah is the lowest and He's answering the dua. If a person is awake at that time and worried that the night is about to slip away, the night is about to go, what does that mean? They don't want to lose that state. They're in a state of, a high level of spirituality. Allah is right here answering my dua. I'm about to fast for the whole day. I prayed witr, or I am praying witr, or I'm finishing this or that or the other. That's the state in this dunya. All this entire line is a state of being in the dunya that will achieve this state of being in the hereafter. النفس المطمئنة. اللهم اجعلنا منهم. The huge good news that the Messenger told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even the Quran hints to the fact that, hey, it's okay. You can't be perfect all the time. You can't be at the spiritual high all the time. So, خير الأعمال عند الله أدومها وإن قل. The best deeds for Allah are the ones that are consistent, even if it's very little. Huh? And when you're in the habit of doing something, but for a reason or another, like a runny nose like I have right now, you don't do what you're in the habit of doing, then Allah counts it, still checks it off, as if you did it. SubhanAllah. علم أن فيكم ضعفا. SubhanAllah. Allah knows our weaknesses. So He can still give us this, even if we're not doing the best at these things. إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Deeds are weighed by their intention. If you have the intention to do these things, and you're not very successful at them, you still get rewarded for the intention. If you have the intention to say, okay, I'm making this intention, I know I'm not going to get up, but let me make that intention. That doesn't work. That's not a real intention. Intention means you actually intend to wake up, and you put effort into waking up. So, Allahu A'lam, that is the most common interpretation of Allah swears by all of these things, that if you take advantage of all of these things, then you will be among these people on the Day of Judgment that are relaxed and at ease. So let's continue translating the surah, because there's other things that are connected. Alam tara, did you not see? This is the same phrase in Surah Al-Fil. كيف فعل ربك بعاد. How your Lord dealt with the people of Ad. Some people are new, they haven't been here, so I'll show you this bubble and arrow. Your Lord dealt with the people of Ad. This is always going to be the case. When you have the subject of a verb, it's always going to end with a dhamma, and it's always going to be after the verb. So in translation, you have to do the Yoda style, Master Yoda. A baby in the car, there is. To be a baby, Master Yoda. And this bumper sticker. Anyways, your Lord dealt with the people of the elephant, the people of Ad. Iram, they say the name of the city, but the tafsir tells us this is, I scrolled. Scroll back. This is their grandpa. The grandpa of Ad. What does that mean? We don't really know what that would imply, but Ad, Iram, Ismu Jaddihim. It is the name of their grandpa, their forefather. Wallahu a'lam. Maybe it was the name of the city. Because that al-imad, pillars. Iram, that had pillars. التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد. So this is actually very relevant. The same thing happens here. مثلها is the subject of يخلق. What does يخلق mean? خلق, created. But we haven't seen this form. We have seen خلق, خلقنا. What is يخلق? That form of the word. What does it mean? يخلق. I'm sure we have chairs. Other way, many places in the masjid, I'm sure we got some chairs. Chairs? Sisters, I mean, you probably can't see the screen from behind there. Yeah, you can grab chairs from the side. So يخلق is what we call a passive, مبني للمجهول in Arabic. Passive, what does it mean if the active voice is create? What is the passive voice? Anybody know what that is? Has been created, was created, or is being created, right? Chairs are being brought. That's the passive voice. Huh? Brother Roman is bringing the chairs. That's a present, that's an active voice. They're being brought is the passive voice. لم يخلق was not created. Wasn't created. مثلها. So the subject of was not created is مثلها. Literally, مثل means example. كذلك يضرب الله الأمثال. This is how Allah strikes examples. You know, in English you say a striking example. Well, in Arabic it's a similar phrase. يضرب الأمثال. Allah strikes examples. So literally, مثل means example, but here مثلها means like it. What is it? It is إرم. The one that none like it. Let me make a better bracket here. لم plus مثلها makes it none like it. The one that not like it was created. The one that none like it was ever created in the land. And so what's special about the people of Ad? Possibly they were the first people to have an actual city with buildings. Allahu A'lam. This was before Fir'aun. So maybe they were the first people ever to build buildings that had structure, maybe a roof and pillars and things like that. Wallahu A'lam. None was ever created fil bilad, in the cities, but bilad, balad means city, like, yeah, it means a place, like in the land, in a region. None was ever created like it in the region. With Thamud, or in any region, in the regions of the world. With Thamud, what about the Thamud? What's special about Thamud? الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد. Not that you should translate, but maybe you know. Thamud used to carve the cliffs and make homes from the rock in the cliff, like caves inside the cliffs. And archaeology has found that there actually have been a lot of civilizations that used to carve houses from the rock to live in. وفرعون ذي الأوتاد. And Fir'aun, the Hijr, the al-Awtad, the one who had Awtad. What does Allah mean? ذي الأوتاد. Fir'aun, where's Fir'aun? ذي الأوتاد. Al-Juyush. Anybody know the word Jaysh in the Sirah? Jaysh al-Usra. Actually, it's in the Quran too. Jaysh al-Usra. Yes. Or Jaysh Usama. Or, no, I can't think of other examples. Jaysh means an army. So Awtad literally means pegs, like stakes to put in the ground. But this tafsir tells us this is about his armies. التي تشد ملكه. These armies that would تشد ملكه. What's shuddu? Shadda. Stronger, mighty, yes. These armies that would make his kingdom, ملكه, his kingdom, strong. Fir'aun. So Fir'aun had all these pegs. Sorry, here. Fir'aun had all these pegs. الذين. So now Allah brings up Ad and Thamud and Fir'aun to mention about them this line. This is the important line about their mention. الذين طغوا. What does طغوا mean? We've seen this word before. Transgress, rebel. إن الإنسان ليطغى كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى. So this was the first time here in Surah Iqra. And then also we had in Surah Al-Shams كذبت ثمود بطغواها. Rebel, transgression. Go beyond the limits. Go beyond what is right. الذين طغوا في البلاد. Those who transgressed and rebelled in the land. We should write bilad, land, or cities. They transgressed in the land. فأكثروا, what's a word like أكثروا? What's an Arabic word like أكثروا? كوثر, or تكاثر, or Urdu speakers? كثير. So what's أكثروا?
Plenty.
Plenty. But this is a verb. So we could write cause a lot. أكثروا means to to kathirify, to make kathir of something, to make a lot of something, cause a lot of what? Fasad. Corruption in the sense of like disorder in the land, chaos in the land. Fiha, fiha in those bilad, in the land. A lot of disorder, corruption. A lot of miserable living, a lot of injustice, a lot of oppression, a lot of disorder. So then what? صب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب. So there's interesting things to mention for this ayah. The first one is ربك. What does that do? ربك is a subject. And it's always the subject of a verb that came before it. So your Lord is the subject of صب. We haven't done Surah Abasa yet. This is another place where صب comes. أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. It means to pour. And I think these might be the only two places in the Quran that this comes. صب means to pour, like from a jug. Allah says in Surah Abasa that He pours water from the sky. Kind of like today. Not really. He wasn't really pouring. But it's been a while. So your Lord poured alayhim, on them. What did He pour? Sawta adhab. I don't remember if this word is also useful. No, it doesn't say anything. So sawta is not salt. Maybe you know the Arabic word salt. Maybe it comes in Urdu, I don't know. Salt means the sound of something, or the voice of an animal or a person. Salt. But sawta means a whip that's used for punishment or for slaves. So Allah, your Lord, poured on them whip punishment. Sawta, this is going to refresh your memory from the workshop. Sawta is a word without al and without tanween. When a word has no tanween and no al, it usually means it's an idafa, and all the way at the red at the end there, we put the word of. Sawta is one of them. No al on it, no tanween. It means it's of. Whip of punishment. So literally, your Lord poured on them the whip of punishment. It's figurative language. Understand it the way you want to understand it. Allah poured on them like every drop of rain was a whip. Allahu A'lam. Or it's just a figurative way to explain how Allah destroyed them. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَبِالْمِرْصَادِ. So, if we go in sequence of the surah, this is the first ayah where Allah makes a statement. He's not asking a question. He's not making you ponder about something. He's making a statement. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ, indeed, your Lord, what about him? لَبِالْمِرْصَادِ. So, rasad, let me get this right. There's two words. There's rasad and there's qannas, I think. Qannas are sharpshooters. who never miss their target. Rasad is a qannas who's not just a sharpshooter who never misses the target. Rasad is that he's waiting. Whenever the target pops up, it's not going to miss it. Like a sniper. They're waiting in ambush. They're waiting, and the moment the target moves, that's it. They get shot. Anybody seen any of the Bourne movies? Yes. So this is mirsad. Your Lord is like that. He is ready to shoot and shoot on target at any moment. So what does this mean? Don't let this deceive you about your Lord. Spend time with Him at these times of the night. Spend time with Allah on these special 10 nights and 10 days, and the witr, and right before the night is over, and at daybreak. Spend time with your Lord at that time, so that all the disorder and corruption and chaos in the world will not face you. And you will realize that it doesn't matter how many corrupt people there are, and it doesn't matter that Allah is not doing anything to them as of yet. There is no way. Allah knows. Allah is watching every single move of every single one of them. And the reason He's not punishing them right now in front of your eyes is because all of it is a test. Allah knows what He's doing. Allah will not miss. If somebody's doing something wrong and Allah has targeted that person needs to get punished for what they did, Allah is not going to miss. He is bil mirsad. But when a sniper is hiding, ready to shoot, does the walking soldier know that there's a sniper? No. This is how Allah is to Fir'aun and Thamud and all of the corrupt people of the history of humankind. They're, walking about their day or living out their life. They don't seem to realize that Allah has the power and will make them face the consequences of what they did. Just like when there's a sniper, the army doesn't know that there's a sniper waiting for them. Allah is like that. And it's not about how Allah is so evil and He wants to kill. No. It's about don't let it deceive you that corrupt people can continue to carry out their corruption. Allah is there waiting for the opportune moment to hold them accountable for what they do. And He's not going to miss. لَبِلْ يُصَالِ SubhanAllah. فَأَمَّا الْإِنسَانِ. So now this is a completely new topic, but of course it's in the same surah, so it's connected. فَأَمَّا الْإِنسَانِ. How much time? SubhanAllah. I came in feeling very weak from the day, but then talking about Quran energizes. MashaAllah. فَأَمَّا الْإِنسَانِ. We've seen this فَأَمَّا quite a few times. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. فَأَمَّا is always followed somewhere by another ayah starting with وَأَمَّا. فَأَمَّا, and then 2 lines below at the top, at the right side of the line, وَأَمَّا. What about this? What about that? فَأَمَّا, then as for. So now Allah discusses the condition of the human being. Most likely, Allah is discussing the condition of the human being which is preventing him from taking advantage of these times. What is the condition of the human being? What is the state of mind and state of heart that makes him lose this opportunity? And the result of it is that he cannot reach, he's never successful in reaching relaxation, satisfaction, happiness. How can you reach happiness? Money? Fame? Power? No. The only thing that will, the most happy people in the world are actually the most poor people. Contentment doesn't come from material things. So Allah is discussing that condition of the human being that's preventing him from achieving contentment, being happy in life. إِذَا مَا ابْتَلَاهُ رَبُّهُ فَأَكْرَمَهُ وَنَعْمَهُ رَبُّهُ ابْتَلَاهُ. You might have to do a little bit of searching for this one. What's a word like ibtala that we've seen already? My bad, we haven't seen it yet. I mentioned it when we did Ibrahim in Surah Al-Baqarah in the workshop. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ. But sorry, this is actually the first time. It's coming again when you turn a page. It's coming again in Surah Al-Tariq. When his Lord tests. And ibtila is a test, meaning that it's like a test of patience or a test of, a difficulty, a hardship for you to achieve something better. It's a hardship in which the decision you make will make you a better person. That's ibtila. The word for a test, like if a teacher gives a paper and it's a test, that's imtihan. Imtihan means to test the knowledge that somebody has. Like to test if they're qualified for a driver's license. That's imtihan. Ibtila is a spiritual test, so to speak. It's a spiritual hardship to make you a better person. It's the tests of this life. That's because the English language is not as rich as the Arabic language. I don't think there's a word in English for this kind of a test. A test is like it's like a trial, not a trial. It's a hardship to make you a better person. So when as for the human being, when and we have this ma. This is the first time we're seeing إذا with ma. إذا by itself means when. Ma by itself means whatever. إذا ما means whenever. When, whatever, whenever. That's إذا ما. The human being, whenever his Lord tests him, so you see there's two pronouns, him, his Lord over here, and test him. His Lord tests him. What kind of a test? أكرمه ونعمه. Help me out with this. أكرمه ونعمه. You can say favors. Ikram, Allah is Akram. Allah is Kareem. And when we did it in Surah Al-Alaq, we said full of goodness. Allah is full of goodness. So, فَأَكْرَمَهُ means He treats him with all goodness. He is generous to him. He honors him. He treats him well. He treats him with the highest level of goodness. When the test is that Allah honors him, blesses him, favors him, treats him very well, na'amahu, blesses him. Let's write it down. Treat well and bless. فيقول ربي أكرمن. Oh, but I should. Let's erase bless for now. Treat well / honor. Ni'ma, I think everybody knows ni'ma, so I'll leave it like that. Ni'ma, blessing. His Lord honors him, treats him well, gives them the honor of treating him well, and blesses him. فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَكْرَمًا. My Lord has honored me. SubhanAllah. I don't know if this is the case in non-Muslims of India, Pakistan, but in Europe, it was like in the Middle Ages, even in the Enlightenment and the Renaissance and all that time, it was it was a well-known concept that there are some people that Allah has just honored. The different castes of society, in their opinion, in their mind, was divinely ordained. The clergy was the clergy because they were chosen by God. The king was the king because he was chosen by God. The rich people were rich people because they were chosen by God. And if they were the third world, it's not called third world. In French, they call it the third people, the third category of people, meaning the lower ones. If you're in the lower category, that's just part of, you were born like that. Allah chose for you to be a Gentile. Allah chose for you to be of the lowest class. That's it, live with it. They thought that all of these things were God-given. When a person is honored, they think, Allah has honored me. This is something that Allah has made me special. It's something special that comes from Allah and you don't get it because you didn't get it from Allah. End of story. Subhanallah. وَأَمَّا إِذَا مَبْتَلَاهُ فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ. Now, when the test is the flip side. Subhanallah. Allah doesn't say, when he puts him down, when he makes his life miserable. He doesn't say any of this. Allah says, قَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ. What's qadr? In this case, it means measure or limit. إِلَى قَدَرٍ مَعْلُومٍ فَقَدَرْنَا. Allah talks about the baby growing in the belly of the mother. إِلَى قَدَرٍ مَعْلُومٍ. For a very precise measure. Qadr. A special measure. What's that special measure? 9 months. فَقَدَرْنَا فَنِعْمَ الْقَادِرُونَ. What a blessed measure. What a blessed, precise count that the baby grows in the belly of the mother. So this is the word qadr. It also means Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree, the night of power. Allah is qadir. Allah has control over everything. But what does it mean? The root means that He measures precisely everything. He has complete control over the exact measure of everything in the world. So qadara means that Allah puts a limit, puts a measure. You know, there's a the phrase they use in Arabic is ala qadr al-imkan. Do your best. Do your best means they say up to the measure that you can. There's a certain measure that you've been given, and you can't go beyond that measure. There's a certain amount of gas in the tank. You can't drive any further if you don't fill up, right? So that measure, Allah has given a certain measure. Allah qadara alayhi rizqahu. Allah puts that limit on, literally, on him, his rizq. Rizq meaning sustenance. Rizq is not just money, it's all sorts of sustenance. Alayhi rizqahu. Allah puts a limit on him, his rizq. What does it mean on him? It means against his will. He doesn't want to be limited. He doesn't want to be constrained in the resources that he has, but he is limited. Allah doesn't say that He takes away his rizq. Allah doesn't say that his house fell apart. Allah doesn't say that he's gotten through a divorce. No, just a limit. Allah puts a limit on his rizq. He says, oh no, my Lord has disgraced me. So he perceives it. The natural state of the human being is to perceive any limit from Allah as the worst misery. What is that attitude? The attitude of constantly complaining. It was already there in Surah Al-Balad, comparing people's lifestyle and complaining about Allah, the one who has given you what He's given you. So you have kids, kindergarten, first grade, maybe younger than that. Oh, why did she get that? Cousins. Oh, subhanAllah. I texted one of my friends in the Frisbee group about this play set for dinner. You know, like there's a little tap in the stove and things, and you have all these utensils. Kids can play like they're cooking, right? And I texted him that I have this that actually I found on the sidewalk, picked it up and brought it home, and my son had it for a while. He said, "Oh, this is perfect. You can't imagine how much this is saving me." Because me and my daughter and my niece are like 1 year apart, and she just got one for her birthday. And now my daughter is like going crazy. What I do with my life is so miserable because my cousin got this. This is exactly the attitude of the human being. But what's the cousin saying? Oh no, this is mine. I deserve this. This was my birthday present. This is mine. My Lord has given it to me. So the one who didn't get it, oh, I'm so miserable, my Lord. And the one who gets it, oh, it is mine. My Lord has given it to me. And then, kids compare the video games, the achievements they have in the video games, and the followers on YouTube when they get old enough, and all these different things. Like people compare all the time and have a mindset of complaining. This is the default mindset of the human being, and this is the mindset that will prevent. This is the only obstacle for a person to become at ease. A person cannot find contentment if they're constantly comparing and complaining about about the limits that they have. Is there anybody that doesn't have limitations in what they get? Everybody has limitations. SubhanAllah. So, either he says this, my Lord has honored me, it's from Allah, I deserve it, or my Lord has disgraced me. It's God's fault. I didn't have anything to do with this. Kalla. Allah says, nuh-uh. No way. Rather, so now this is the most clear kalla. I told you before that kalla doesn't mean, it's not no way in the sense, there's no way that. No, kalla is a full statement. No, not at all. They say nay, N-E-Y in the translation. Nay, not at all. You didn't get it right. Bel, rather, لا تك, excuse me, لا تكرمون اليتيم. You recognize this word, tukrimun? It's the same as akrama, akraman. So you see, Allah honored him. And he feels that Allah honored him special. He's special, he deserves it, Allah honored him. Allah says, don't have that attitude. You're the ones who are not doing anything to honor the ones who do deserve. If there's anybody in the world who deserves to be treated well, you don't deserve to be treated well. This is a blessing of Allah. You see, they recognize the honor, they don't recognize the blessing. Recognizing the honor but not the blessing means you feel like you deserve it. That's why I'm saying deserving this whole time. Because they recognize the honor, but they don't recognize the blessing. If anybody in the world deserves to be honored, if anybody in the world should get ikram without necessarily getting ni'mah. If they get ikram, it's not a ni'mah. It's not a blessing for an orphan that they get treated well. It's a right. An orphan deserves to get treated well. But you're the one not even treating well the orphans. وَلَا تَحَاضُّونَ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. And you've never ever made any effort to give food to the poor. I'm exaggerating like this because this is the exaggerated statement. تَحَاضُّونَ compared to وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ in Surah Al-Ma'un. So this is a more emphatic form. You've never ever tried to give food to the poor, to contribute to anything good in society. وَتَأْكُلُونَ. Anybody remember the meaning of this word? Eat. What is the word like it? مَأْكُول. كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُول. The people of the elephant, Allah destroyed them and they were like eaten straw. تَأْكُلُونَ. Let's write it down. You eat. You eat. I'm saying you because تأكلون matches تعبدون. تعبدون is the you 3 plus. So that's why تأكلون means you. I could have shown you this for تكرمون. It's the same for تكرمون. تكرمون, تأكلون, تحبون. All 3 of them. And تحاضون. You, all of you. تأكلون التراث أكلا لما. This is called, what is it called? مفعول مطلق. When the verb comes repeated further down in the sentence. وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ تَنزِيلًا. This repetition, نَزَّلْنَا تَنزِيلًا. رَتِّلْ تَرْتِيلًا. دُكَّتِ الْأَرْضُ دَكًّا دَكًّا. This repetition, the verb comes again. It's called مفعول مطلق. It's just there for emphasis. And the emphasis is usually in the word after it. لَمَّا. A lot. Very greedy. So you eat. What do you eat? Turath. Anybody know what turath is? It's an important word. It's not repeated a lot, but it means inheritance. I'm putting it in parentheses because it's gray. It's not a repeated word. It's not repeated quite much in the Quran. You have a few times. وَوَرِثَ سُلَيْمَانُ دَاوُودَ. Sulaiman inherited Dawood. You eat inheritance greedily. What does it mean you eat inheritance greedily? I'm not very familiar with these social sciences, but I've heard that people who win the jackpot at these casinos and stuff, the norm is that they become broke and on the streets within 2 years. How? When people get a load of money that they got as inheritance, the majority of people, the default mindset of the human being is to just use it. not save it, not give it away. Just use it. So they'll take a cruise trip where they'll improve the house, get a swimming pool, get this, get that, get the other. They'll get dunya things for themselves. They won't think about sharing it or investing it in any meaningful way. Subhanallah. تأكلون التراث. You eat inheritance. وتحبون المال حبا جما. And you love money. With what kind of love? A jamma kind of love. A devourous kind of love. What's jamma here?
Yeah,
No, jama'a. Jama'a with ayn is jamma here just means كثير مع حرص وشر وشهوة, I think. So حرص is, what do they call it? Greed. حريص عليكم. So eager. You eagerly love. You love money a lot and with a lot of greed, eagerness to get it. And then shahwatin, not sure. It looks like it's shahwatin. Shahwahin? Or sharahin. No, I think sharahin. I don't know what sharahin means. So you eat money. You love money intensely. What time is Aisha? 9:30? 9:30. Inshallah. Let's finish the surah. The rest of it flows. So, subhanallah, the flow of the surahs. Don't let the corruption of the world distract you from the formula Allah has given you to find contentment and relaxation in this world and the next. Don't let all this corruption distract you from that. And don't have the mindset that will be a wall between you and happiness. If you have this mindset of complaining all the time and blaming others and blaming fate and feeling like your life is miserable and not appreciating the blessings that you do have, if that's your mindset, then you're never going to achieve nafs al-mutma'inna. So now Allah draws the picture of the Day of Judgment, and basically, from here, kalla, until nafs al-mutma'inna, basically this is the conclusion of the surah. Kalla. Basically, the 3 lines from kalla here, these 3 lines, 3.5, they're building the scenario or the environment for you to fully appreciate what a blessing it must be to achieve content. You can only appreciate this ayah fully if you've fully internalized what came before that. كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. So دكت الأرض, this is a passive form again. The earth is the subject of being dukkat. The earth is blown up, pulverized into dust. Like they have this in movies, an explosion that it's like a clean explosion, and then the dust settles like this. The earth is pulverized. Dakkan dakka. Completely, to find dust particles. Subhanallah. The earth is completely blown up. وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا. So رَبُّكَ and al-malaku are doing جاء. What does جاء mean? إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ. Your Lord. جاء. Come. Your Lord and al-malak. So الناس means mankind. Al-jinnati means jinn kind. Al-malak means angel kind. Yes. Or it also means angel, but here angel kind. So all the angels and your Lord, they come. Saffan saffa. Rows. It doesn't mean row upon row. It means very, very well organized row. Like this is the kind of military formation you have never seen in this dunya. The organization of the angels. I mean, think about it. Angel kind. Every single angel. According to the Sunnah, or according to the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the Bayt al-Ma'mur, there are 70,000 angels making tawaf around it. Is it every day? I think every day, right? And every single day, every single one of them has never made tawaf around the Bayt al-Ma'mur before. So the existence of angels is 70,000 times the number of days that al-Bayt al-Ma'mur has been in existence. Imagine that number. Yet, saffan saffa, in the perfect formations, in perfect organized rows. Subhanallah. I mean, I can't remember. There's this. Yes, I remember one cartoon, Salah ad-Din Ayyubi. It's a good cartoon because the Arabic language is very clean. So kids can watch it, teenagers can watch it, and then you can get to learn how Arabic works. It's called Salah ad-Din, the Salah ad-Din cartoon. There's a scene where Salah ad-Din and his friends, they see a few, what's it called? Not knights, but horsemen coming to attack them. And right behind them is a ship about to sail. And they tell the captain, no, we can handle this. We never run away from a fight. And they see these few horses coming towards them. And then from all the little streets on the side, they see like five more. They're like, oh, actually, never mind. We're running away. And they get on the ship. Right? So this is the intimidation of the angels coming. Like, oh my God, whoa. Okay, better act up. better straighten our act, right? Get your act together. Like when you see all, in a big public school, all 5 security officers with the principal and the superintendent and this and that and that, all 10 of them walk into one classroom at the same time. Oh my God, big trouble for whoever did something in that classroom, right? So this is the idea. All the angels all come in this perfectly organized fashion. Very formal, very official. Saffan saffa. وَجِيءَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمْ. Ji'a is the passive voice. So the haraka change, when the haraka is changed in a weird way, usually means the passive voice. What do I mean change in the weird way? Dakka is the regular form. Dukka, the du, makes it passive. يخلق, خلق, the fatha at the beginning. يخلق, the u at the beginning makes it passive. Not every time, but this kind of strange change of haraka makes it passive. Same thing, ja'a, come, ji'a, be. Ja'a, be, come with, which means bring. The hellfire is come with, meaning is brought. The hellfire is brought. SubhanAllah. So all 5 security officers of the campus, plus the principal, superintendent, all these people, they all come in a very formal attire, in a very formal fashion. And what do they bring with them? What are they bringing? I mean, nowadays they can't bring anything, but imagine some 200, 300, 400 years ago, they bring the belt, right? They bring the punishment with them. Angels are bringing the hellfire with them. Other places in the Quran, 19 angels are holding the hellfire in chains because the hellfire is ihdal kubar. It's a beast. The hellfire roars. The hellfire is hungry for more. So the angels are bringing it chained like this, and they're bringing it to the Day of Judgment. This is scary. يَوْمَئِذٍ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانِ. Who would not be intimidated by this? SubhanAllah. That's the day that the human being will be intimidated. The word doesn't mean intimidated. يَتَذَكَّرُ means think hard to remember. It comes from dhikr, which means remembrance. يَتَذَكَّرُ means the effort of remembering. He's going to try to think hard in an effort to remember. So in other words, he's going to be, what's the word I just used? Intimidated. What did I do? What did I do? Police walks into the classroom. What did I do? What did I do? Who did what? What did I do? Like, if the students are not sure why the security officers just came into the classroom, if nobody knows, then every single student in that classroom is trying to remember, what did I do today? What did I do last week? Did I punch anybody? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do that? Did anybody catch me doing this? Did anybody catch me doing that? They run through their portfolio of all the bad deeds that they must have done to see what they could have done. So on that day, the human being will be intimidated and will be panicking, trying to think about everything they did. Subhanallah. وَأَنَّى لَهُ الذِّكْرَى. What's the point? Anna means how come / what's the point? Lahu, for him, al-dhikra, to remember. What's the point for him to remember? Or you could say also, really? Now you're going to try to remember? You're going to try to, take your life seriously? It's only 10 minutes. I want to rush. I see people popped in. We're almost done. I'll just translate it quickly and maybe we can do it again next week if we need to. He will say, oh no, I wish. Ya laytani is both oh no and I wish. I wish I had invested for my life. And so in this ayah, a person on the Day of Judgment, the entirety of his existence is his existence on the Day of Judgment. That's his life. He doesn't even perceive that he used to have another life. That was insignificant for him. I wish I had invested for my life. So on that day, no one, look at the board, no one will, the arrow doesn't go there. No one will punish like he punishes. This is a way to say that it doesn't matter who thinks that they had any authority over other people to punish. Only Allah can punish. And Allah is the most just of all judges. So He's not going to do anybody unfairly. And no one can shackle like He shackles. In the beginning, we were talking about these people who think they're going to get away. Well, Allah is going to hold them and they're not going to get away. Like Allah is going to shackle all the tyrants of the history of humankind. He's going to shackle them and they're all going to get stuck. There's no way to get away. In kuntum, لا تنفذون يا معشر الجن والإنس لا تنفذون لا يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا. If you're able to run away, go ahead and run away. There's no running away. All the tyrants are shackled and stuck. They can't get away. Subhanallah. Yeah, so now we go back to this part we translated already. Oh, soul who is relaxed, at ease, in comfort, go back to your Lord, happy. Allah is happy with you. Enter in the presence of the best of my servants and enter my Jannah, my garden. صدق الله العظيم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.